Hello, my dear friends. Today I want to share something deeply personal and profoundly important with you. A message that has the power to transform your life from the inside out. Let's talk about something that we often overlook in our busy lives. Something that we rarely give ourselves permission to embrace. The art of making peace with ourselves. As I sit here with you, I feel a deep sense of connection. I imagine your heart, your dreams, your struggles, and your triumphs. I know that life at times can feel like a relentless whirlwind, a cacophony of expectations, fears, and uncertainties. I know, because I have walked that path myself. I have been in those moments where the weight of guilt, shame, or regret seemed unbearable. I've been there, feeling unworthy, uncertain, and so desperate for love, yet unable to find it within myself. And so, I want to start by telling you something you may not hear often enough. You are worthy of love, not because of what you do or how perfectly you live your life, but because of who you are. You are enough. Just as you are right now, with all your perceived flaws, with all your self-doubts, with all your not good enoughs. I didn't always know this truth. There was a time when I believed that I had to earn love, that I had to prove my worth by being perfect, by pleasing others, by hiding the parts of me that I thought weren't lovable. But that belief, it was a lie that kept me trapped in a prison of self-judgment and self-rejection for far too long. It took me years and sometimes painful lessons to realize that peace doesn't come from perfection. It doesn't come from achieving all your goals or fixing all the broken pieces of yourself. Peace comes when you stop fighting with yourself. It comes when you decide, yes, decide, to love and accept yourself exactly as you are. But how do you do that? How do you make peace with the parts of yourself that you've been taught to hide, to hate, to fear? How do you stop the inner critic, that voice that constantly tells you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not lovable enough? Let me tell you a story. There was a time in my life when I felt like I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. I was so consumed by guilt and regret over the mistakes I thought I'd made, over the people I believed I had failed, over the love I thought I didn't deserve. Every morning, I would look in the mirror and see someone who wasn't enough. And every night, I would lie in bed replaying all the things I thought I had done wrong, all the ways I believed I had fallen short. It was exhausting, and it was heartbreaking. But one day, something shifted. I remember sitting in my room, tears streaming down my face, feeling like I couldn't carry the burden anymore. And in that moment of despair, I heard a quiet but powerful voice inside me. It said, "What if you forgave yourself? What if you let go of the pain and gave yourself the love you've been searching for in others?" That voice, it was so gentle, so kind. It wasn't demanding or judgmental. It felt like the voice of a dear friend, someone who had been waiting patiently for me to listen. And so, I made a choice. I decided to try. I decided to stop punishing myself for the past and start giving myself the love and compassion I so desperately needed. It wasn't easy, and it didn't happen overnight. But it was a choice I made again and again, every single day. I started with simple things. I would look in the mirror, and instead of criticizing my appearance, I would say, "I love you." At first, it felt awkward and even a little silly, but I kept doing it. I kept showing up for myself, even when I didn't feel like it. And slowly, something began to change. I began to see myself differently. I began to feel a sense of lightness, of freedom that I hadn't felt in years. And most importantly, I began to feel at peace. My dear friends, I want you to know that this peace is possible for you too. No matter what you've been through, no matter what mistakes you think you've made, no matter how unworthy you may feel, you can make peace with yourself. You can forgive yourself. You can love yourself. It starts with a decision to be kind to yourself even when you don't feel you deserve it. A decision to let go of the past and focus on the present. A decision to choose love over fear, compassion over criticism, and acceptance over judgment. I know it's not always easy. I know there will be days when the old patterns of self-doubt and self-criticism creep back in. But I want you to remember that every moment is a new opportunity to choose again, to choose love, to choose forgiveness, to choose peace. As I share this with you, I want you to take a deep breath. Yes, right now. Close your eyes if you can, and just breathe. Feel the air filling your lungs. Feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. Feel the life within you. This moment, this breath, is a gift, and so are you. When you exhale, I want you to imagine letting go of the self-judgment, the guilt, the shame, letting go of the need to be perfect, letting go of anything that no longer serves you. And as you inhale again, I want you to breathe in love, breathe in acceptance, breathe in peace. Imagine that with each breath, you are filling yourself with all the love and compassion you've been longing for, because you deserve it. You deserve to feel loved, to feel whole, to feel at peace. I know this journey isn't always easy, but I promise you it's worth it. And you don't have to do it alone. I'm here with you, cheering you on, believing in you, and loving you every step of the way. I want to take a moment to remind you of something. The path to peace with yourself isn't about perfection. It's not about getting everything right. It's not about meeting the expectations others have of you, or even the expectations you have of yourself. It's about accepting that you are human, and as such, you are wonderfully imperfect. You are a masterpiece in progress. I know how easy it is to get caught up in the desire to be flawless, to feel like we need to be something or someone we're not in order to be loved or accepted. But this pursuit of perfection only takes us further away from the truth of who we really are. It leads us to believe that we have to earn our place in this world when, in reality, we already have one. There's a beautiful truth I want you to understand. Peace comes from embracing yourself just as you are, imperfections, flaws and all. It comes from accepting that you don't need to be perfect to be worthy of love. You don't need to meet anyone's standards or even your own. You are enough, just as you are. I know it's hard to truly believe this. Society has done a number on us. It's made us believe that love, success, happiness, and even peace are things that need to be earned through hard work, through pleasing others, through living up to external expectations. But I'm here to tell you that none of that is true. You don't need to earn peace. You don't need to prove yourself. Peace is something you give to yourself freely and unconditionally. This is where the journey truly begins. When I made the decision to stop running from myself, to stop trying to be something I wasn't, something inside me began to shift. It's as though I had been carrying around a weight, one that I didn't even realize was there. And when I let go of my need to be perfect, that weight disappeared. You see, my friends, we carry so much within us, so much fear, so much guilt, so much doubt. And these feelings, they weigh us down. We think we need to be perfect to be happy, but in reality, it's our expectations of perfection that are causing us to feel miserable. The constant striving to meet an ideal that we'll never reach creates a cycle of frustration and disappointment. But there is a different way, a way that allows you to embrace all that you are, the parts of you that shine brightly, and the parts of you that still feel broken. Both are part of your journey. Both are part of your story. And each part, whether it feels like a triumph or a struggle, contributes to the person you are becoming. I want you to think about something. When you look at a beautiful flower, do you focus on its imperfections? Do you look at a petal that's slightly out of place or a leaf that's a little brown and think, it's not perfect, it's not worthy of admiration? No, you don't. You see the flower in its entirety, its beauty, its grace, its uniqueness. And in that same way, you must learn to see yourself. I am not saying that you should ignore your flaws or pretend that they don't exist. What I am saying is that your flaws do not define you. They do not diminish your worth. Your worth is inherent. It is part of who you are as a person. And once you begin to see yourself as a whole being with all the beauty and imperfection that makes you who you are, you will start to feel at peace. This is why self-love is so powerful. When you love yourself, when you accept all of who you are, the voice of self-criticism begins to fade. It's not that the negative thoughts won't ever pop up again. They will. But when you learn to replace those thoughts with kindness and compassion, they lose their power over you. The more you practice loving yourself, the more you begin to heal from the wounds that have been holding you back. I want to take a moment to talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness is such a crucial part of making peace with yourself. It's so easy to hold on to the mistakes we've made, to replay the things we wish we could have done differently. But my friends, holding on to guilt, regret, and resentment only weighs you down. It keeps you tethered to the past, and the past is no longer your reality. The only place you can live fully is in the present. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean you're saying that your mistakes were okay. It doesn't mean you're excusing your behavior. It simply means that you are freeing yourself from the burden of carrying those mistakes forever. It means that you are allowing yourself to be human, to learn, to grow, and to move forward. I had to learn this lesson myself. I used to hold on to so much guilt and regret, believing that I was somehow unworthy of peace because of the things I had done. But what I realized was that by not forgiving myself, I was punishing myself over and over again. I was creating my own prison, one that kept me trapped in the past, unable to fully embrace the present. I want you to understand that your past does not define you. It may have shaped who you are today, but it does not determine your future. You are not the mistakes you've made, nor are you the regrets you carry. You are so much more than that. You are the person who chooses to rise again, to learn, to grow, and to love. When you forgive yourself, you release yourself from the weight of the past, and you allow space for new possibilities. You give yourself the freedom to move forward. It's a beautiful and liberating experience. So, I ask you now, what would happen if you chose to forgive yourself? What would happen if you decided that today is the day you let go of the guilt and the regret? What if you stopped punishing yourself for things that are long gone? I want you to know that forgiveness is not something you have to do all at once. It's a process, a journey. But every step you take toward forgiveness is a step toward peace. Every time you choose to release a little bit of guilt or shame, you are making room for love, for compassion, for growth. And with that forgiveness comes an openness to healing. Healing takes time, but it's so worth it. The more you forgive, the more you will begin to heal your heart, your mind, and your soul. And as you heal, you will find that peace comes more naturally. The truth is, my friends, making peace with yourself is one of the most loving things you can do. It's not about becoming someone you're not. It's about embracing who you are, imperfections and all. It's about giving yourself the love and compassion you've been seeking from others. So, let me ask you again, what would happen if you forgave yourself today? What would happen if you chose to let go of the past and embrace the present with all its beauty and challenges? I promise you, my friends, peace is waiting for you. It's not out there somewhere in the future or in someone else's approval. It's within you, right here, right now. It always has been. As we continue this journey together, I want to remind you of something truly profound. You don't have to have everything figured out. Life is a constant flow, and you're not meant to have it all under control all the time. And that, my dear friend, is okay. The truth is, it's often in the moments of uncertainty, when we feel like we're walking in the dark, that we experience the most growth. It's in those moments that we learn how to trust ourselves, how to rely on our inner wisdom, and how to find peace, even in the midst of chaos. You see, peace is not something you achieve once and for all. It's not a destination, but a state of being, a way of living. It's the ability to stay grounded in the face of adversity, to remain calm when everything around you is stirring. It's about holding space for your emotions, acknowledging them without letting them dictate your actions, and letting them pass through you like a gentle breeze. But how do you cultivate that inner peace? How do you remain calm in the midst of life's storms? The first step, I believe, is acceptance. Acceptance is the foundation upon which peace is built. Accepting yourself as you are, accepting your circumstances, accepting the ups and downs of life without fighting them. It doesn't mean that you agree with everything that happens to you, or that you won't strive to improve or change things. Acceptance is simply the act of saying, this is what is, and it's okay. Now, I know it's easier said than done. When life throws challenges your way, it's so tempting to resist. We want to control everything, to fix things, to make sure we have everything in order. But in my own life, I've learned that resistance only leads to suffering. The more we fight against what is, the more we create inner turmoil. Instead, I invite you to try something different. Let go of the need to control everything. Surrender to the flow of life. When you stop resisting, when you stop fighting against the waves, you begin to float. You allow yourself to be carried by the current, knowing that you'll be okay. You learn to trust that no matter what happens, you have the strength to navigate through it. I remember a time in my own life when I was facing a huge challenge. I was overwhelmed, exhausted, and filled with fear about what the future would hold. I felt like I was fighting a battle I couldn't win, but then something shifted within me. I stopped trying to control the outcome, and instead I simply accepted that I was exactly where I needed to be. I told myself, I trust the process. I trust that everything is unfolding as it should. That was one of the most freeing moments of my life. I stopped feeling like I was drowning in a sea of uncertainty. Instead, I began to feel a sense of calm, knowing that even though I couldn't control everything, I could control how I responded. And that, my friends, is where peace comes from. learning to control your responses rather than trying to control the world around you. Acceptance also means embracing your emotions. I know that at times, you may feel like your emotions are too much to handle. You may feel like you're being swept away by sadness, anger, or fear. But let me tell you this, your emotions are not your enemy. They are your teachers. They are messengers, guiding you to a deeper understanding of yourself. When you experience difficult emotions, instead of trying to suppress them or push them away, try to be with them. Allow yourself to feel without judgment. When sadness arises, don't try to mask it with distractions or denial. Sit with it. Let it flow through you. Ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to teach me? And then listen. Listen to your heart, to your inner wisdom. You may not have all the answers, but in those moments, you will find clarity and healing. And my dear friends, it's not just the difficult emotions we need to learn to embrace. It's also the positive emotions, the joy, the love, the peace. How often do you allow yourself to fully experience the moments of beauty in your life? How often do you take a moment to bask in the simple pleasures, to appreciate the goodness that surrounds you? I want to encourage you to savor those moments. When something beautiful happens, when you feel joy or love, let yourself be fully present. Don't rush past it. Don't dismiss it or downplay it. Allow yourself to feel it fully. The more you do this, the more you will invite peace into your life. The more you allow yourself to experience the full spectrum of emotions, the more at peace you will become. Now, I know that there are times when we feel like we're not enough, when we feel like we're falling short of the standards we've set for ourselves. And in those moments, it's easy to forget that we are worthy of peace. But I want you to remember this. You are deserving of peace, no matter where you are in your life right now. Peace is not something you earn. It's not something you have to work for or strive toward. It's something you already have within you. It's your birthright. It's a part of who you are. You were born with peace in your soul, but somewhere along the way, you may have forgotten that it's there. You may have buried it under layers of stress, worry, and self-doubt. But I want you to know this. Peace is always available to you. It's always there beneath the surface, waiting for you to reconnect with it. No matter how many times you've lost touch with it, no matter how many challenges you've faced, peace is always there, ready to embrace you once again. I've learned that the more I allow myself to simply be, without judgment or expectation, the more I tap into that peace. And when I'm at peace with myself, everything else falls into place. The chaos of life becomes quieter. The noise of the world fades away. And I can hear the whispers of my soul, guiding me toward what is truly important. This, my friends, is the power of inner peace. It's not something that depends on external circumstances. It's not something that requires you to have all the answers or to be perfect. It's something that comes from within when you learn to embrace yourself and your life just as they are. It's a state of being that allows you to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and ease. So today I ask you, will you choose peace? Will you choose to let go of the need to control everything? Will you choose to trust in yourself and the process of life? Now, I want to talk about the power of presence. So much of our struggle to find peace comes from being either stuck in the past or anxious about the future. We ruminate on past mistakes, or we worry about what might happen tomorrow, and in doing so, we lose sight of the present moment. The present moment is where peace resides. It's in the here and now, not in the regrets of yesterday or the fears of tomorrow. When we become fully present, we open ourselves to the beauty of the moment. We begin to notice the little things, the warmth of the sun on our skin, the sound of birds chirping, the feeling of the ground beneath our feet. These simple moments have the power to bring us peace, but only if we're truly present to them. I know that it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of life, to feel like there's always something to do, something to worry about. But the truth is, the more we dwell on the past or the future, the more we miss out on the richness of the present. We become so focused on what has happened or what might happen that we forget to appreciate what is happening right now. I've learned that when I let go of my need to control the future and release my grip on the past, I am able to find peace in the present moment. This doesn't mean that life stops moving or that challenges disappear, but it means that even in the midst of life's ups and downs, we can find stillness. We can find peace by simply being present, by stopping for a moment and taking a deep breath, by noticing the world around us and the beauty in each moment. One of the practices that has helped me embrace the present is mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being fully present in whatever you're doing, whether it's washing the dishes, walking in nature, or having a conversation. It's about paying attention to the sensations in your body, the thoughts in your mind, and the emotions in your heart without judgment. It's about accepting whatever is arising without trying to change it. I know it can be challenging, especially when we're overwhelmed or stressed. But mindfulness, even in small doses, can bring incredible peace. It reminds us that we don't need to be anywhere else or do anything else to experience peace. All we need to do is be here, right now. Peace also comes when we allow ourselves to rest. So often we feel like we have to keep pushing, keep striving, keep working. We think that rest is a luxury, that we don't deserve to take a break. But my friends, rest is essential to peace. Without rest, we become depleted, overwhelmed, and disconnected from ourselves. I want to encourage you to take time for rest. Whether it's a moment of quiet reflection, a walk in nature, or a full night's sleep, rest is vital for your well-being. When you allow yourself to rest, you are honoring your body, your mind, and your spirit. You are giving yourself the space to recharge, to reconnect, and to find peace again. So, today I ask you, can you be present with yourself? Can you offer yourself the kindness and compassion that you deserve? Can you choose peace right here, right now? I promise you, my dear friend, peace is within reach. It's not something to chase or achieve. It's something to allow. It's already there, waiting for you to embrace it.